Hello everyone, welcome back to Grimm's Garage, and today on Packaging Purge, I've realized that I need some toys to play with. I've got a number of track sets and other huge Hot Wheel play sets that eventually I'd like to set up. In fact, I've got two set up behind me, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm a big model collector, but I have failed to make sure that I have models that I want to play with available. So this episode is all just opening some random stuff I had available as extras. They were going to be for trade or sale, but I've decided these are what I want to play with. And it's going to be a different adventure because a lot of what I'd be willing to play with is a lot different than what I want to collect, if that makes any sense at all. We're going to start off with some loosies that I grabbed out of my loose chip bin. What is this guy? The Z-Rod. Thought this guy looked kind of cool in drab black with green. Always a suck for the neon green and black. I don't know why. Ever since Xbox 360. Not that I'm a huge specific fan of that. Just very reminiscent. What do we have here? Pikes Peak Tacoma. Not a racing fan, but that looked like a nice vehicle for the track. I was digging the colorizations on that as well. We're going to add that guy. Was this Time a Taxi? Yep, Time a Taxi. I recall opening this and being disappointed with the supposed moving feature. It's a barely movable piece of bent plastic, part of the interior. But it does look fun for a track adventure. It's a Datsun 510 wagon. Now this came out of a 5-pack, which I'd purchased twice because I specifically wanted this model. And this one had some damage in the front, so I actually purchased the whole thing again for another one of these. So I'm going to enjoy playing with this. And you see it already is super messed up just from being rummaged around in a bin full of other cars. And that's what eventually all these cars today will eventually probably look like. We are here to open some things to play with. Beach Patrol Rescue on our... Oh, they don't even say it. Chevy Nova. But big wagon fan, big Nova fan. This guy happened to have been available in my Lucy pile, so no point in opening a new one. This guy will do. As you see, I've been putting these guys on the hauler because we've got a lot to open here. We got a Matchbox. Was it a 70? Yeah, 70 El Camino. Remember, this was the original one in my collection, and I replaced it with a new one. So now this guy gets to be played with. A Blazer 4x4 from Matchbox. Broken off antenna. I have replaced this guy with a new one for my collection, so we might as well go ahead and enjoy this guy. Ooh, this guy's not going to even want to fit on this truck at all. Another big guy here. This is this. It's got multiple names. It's been known as a good humor truck, ice cream truck, I don't know. This was my first version of it. And ironically, the second version of it was the same model, but mint. He's missing an ice cream man in here. They're very easily broken up, so if you're playing with a loose one, don't push on him. he will pop right out. But I got one to race down the track. Funny little animal guy, but it looked intriguing track-wise. Croc Rod. A lot of these animal ones are very nostalgic to me from my childhood. I was born in 1980. I recall in the middle of the 80s they had a lot of 5-packs with animals. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan. I did not like them, but they become nostalgic now because I've always had them around in my childhood. So there are a couple animal-like cars that I will be opening for track play. Track manga, I believe. Yes, track manga. There's other cooler colors, but I already had this one open and available. These feel like some cool late 80s colors. We got Matchbox. Yes, Datsun 510 Rally. Nice details. They came out of the 5-pack as well, which we already have, so nice. Nice car to play with. Seems a little bulky, but heavy and tight wheelbase. Still might be a good track guy. You never know. Here's an older casting. Camaro Z28 1982 on the casting, but who knows exactly when this was released. Exactly. Fire Eater design. Now, I'm not a fan of Camaros. A huge Chevy fan, but I'm not a Camaro fan, unfortunately. But come on, you gotta have a Camaro. I'm sure someone else is also going to want to play with one if they come over. And this is a metal on metal. It's older, so it'd be nice to see how it does on a track compared to the more 50-50 plastic models these days. So you got any other Lucy's? No. Alright, onto these bag cars. These bag cars are ones that I consider basically almost brand new. I picked them out of a 5-pack or any type of multi-pack. These were the ones I did not want, so I put them in a bag to keep them as new as possible and offered them up for 50 cents a piece. But these ones are now being reopened for my use. I do recall this being on the bottom of a 5-pack. I don't remember what else came in it. Oh, no name on it. It's like a Zombie Rod or something like that, or Mummy. Mumrod. Honestly don't know, but that looks pretty cool. That is going on the play bin. What we got here? We got a Chevy Custom 69 Custom. Very nice. A few tricks on the tracks. Okay, admittedly, this guy's not going to probably do well on a track, but this Kidster is one of my favorite models to play with. Always fun to play with. Just spin it around the table. Oh, sorry, you can't really see that out of frame. But, yeah. They spin around in circles. Honestly, quite like they do in real life. Me and some former coworkers and former jobs have messed around in some ways you probably should not be doing, but yeah, very fun little model. I've always loved this guy. This guy's staying out with me. Oh, of course. Got a Chevy Nomad 69. It's an older one. so it's metal on metal. Again, we'll see how much better this does on a track. Huge Nova fan, and I already had this one loose, so we are going to use it. Alright, another one that I probably normally would never keep, but I still think is kind of cool, and now here's an awesome reason to be playing with one. I need stuff to play with. Street Creeper in yellow. Very cool. Looks like a Batmobile. Yes. I did have a 5-pack Batmobiles that had a Nomad in it. I had to have the Nomad, so I bought the whole thing. Otherwise, not a big Batman fan. But, come on. They're cool vehicles either way, so I'm opening these for track play. There's at least one other Batmobile style vehicle on the table here somewhere. A newer police car, which I, again, don't normally keep, but seemed like a fun track car. We need some authority out there. So we got a newer Dodge Charger Pursuit. Hopefully keep some of these other guys in line. Ooh. Another wagon. This is one of the newer models. So these on drift. We got Maxima drift car. I was really excited when this came out. Very cool. Of course, I want one of these to play with. That red is sick. Another Matchbox, which, I mean, obviously, we're going to find more fun stuff in the track, Hot Wheel wise, but there's some Matchbox here. Not that this is very trackish, but I wanted one to play with it. I think it's a Line Master, Road Master, something like that. I think it's a Line Master, Road Line Master. Stick a crayon or a pencil in there. You simulate right in the road lines. Man, we'll need some track assistance with that guy. Another model I don't usually care for at all. Corvette. This is a Gas Monkey Garage version. Yep, Gas Monkey 68 Corvette. Got a couple of these, but there's a nice, beautiful orange Lucy. Might as well go with that. Ooh, another animal. And to be honest, this is just one I'm going to use for now. If I recall, the older ones did have a metal top half of the animal. And I think I'd rather have that. There's barely any metal on the bottom of this. So I'll keep this guy to play with for now. If I find an older one, I want that one. Another animal. Got some kind of shark guy, which is one of two sharks. There's a different kind of shark car that's on one of these cards. We'll open in a bit. Shark Cruiser. Really? Original 86 design? Huh. Obviously redone. There's a second date. Probably took away a lot of metal. Do recall having this, a lot more metal on this. Confused as to why they made two shark models. The other one's not much different. It's rearing up a little more so that its jaw can be articulated open. But other than articulation, why two sharks? It's a bit weird. A number of these lying around. I thought one of them would be good to play with at least. Lethal Diesel. Kind of Mad Max-ish. Thought that was kind of sick. See that guy going on the track. What is this called? Crate Racer, which is like a tuned custom like Volkswagen pickup, which I collect, but this is way too far out there for me to want. Let's get that rocking engine feature. But now that I'm looking for track stuff to play with, yeah, we're gonna bust this guy out. I'm loving the 70s pinstripes. Those 70s pinstripes honestly help decide a few models that I'm going to be opening. I got another animal. The only reason why I'd ever open all these animals is probably in this only video. Some kind of raptor. Velociracer. Okay. Instead of a velociraptor, it's a velociracer. I almost said raptor again. What year is this? 2019? Alright, so it's probably no older one. Let's do some animal racing. Another Matchbox. Yep. Jeep Willys. From Matchbox. Got a few of these. In fact, I had a couple of this red one that came out about a year ago, so no reason why not to use that guy. Pardon? I knew there was another Batmobile somewhere. It's a different style one. Ooh. It's one with the Catwoman on the side of it. The Governor. Alright. One last Lucy to open. I guess it's another animal. Looks like a big tarantula. Speed Spider. Kind of cool coloring on it. But yeah, just a speedy spider. Seemed like it'd do some good for us. Right. Alright, now we're going to get into the more fun stuff, opening up packaged items. First off, we've got a Hot Wheels character car of Spider-Man. Of course, one of the fantasy vehicles, not an actual Spidey vehicle, which I would have on my collection wall. The buggy, or maybe even the Japanese car. This one is a fantasy vehicle, but come on. This looked really fun for a track. That'll be a lot of fun. Pit against a Batmobile, perhaps. Oh, yeah. This is the only Mattel item on the table today, or non-Mattel item on the table today. Johnny Lightning. I struggled with this car for a while. Lotus. I don't usually like these luxury, sporty cars, but this is more of a DeLorean type. It's my birth year. I'm not a big James Bond fan, but it's still kind of cool. This just looked really awesome. I didn't feel I wanted it for my regular collection, but for something as compelling me to open and play with this. So whether I play with this or not, I wanted to open it now. And it might be playable. It's beautiful colors. It just screams, this is the luxury future, as what we think in 1980. which felt weird at the time, but now it's nostalgically awesome right now. Yeah, this screams like luxury hi-fi stereo system in your home. Brand new dual deck walk-in high-class gadgetry that's make no sense 5 years later. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm happy I opened this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm keeping it. Maybe I'll put it in my Hollywood collection just because it goes there. But that's cool. Probably be a pocket car. Custom Volkswagen hauler. Is it from the Track Stars? Is that what these are called? I think eventually these are called Track Stars, but not this one at least. I love them Volkswagens. At first I thought this was a little ridiculous, but to be honest, there are customs out there that are much like this. Does this remove? Yeah, it looks like it does, but not very easily. I would not want to break it. Ball and socket system. And we got a modified front cab. Engine right there in the center. With another, it's like a T2 bus converted into an RV camper. Lots of fun. Track or not, that's going to be really cool to play with. Same thing with this. I like spacey stuff, NASA stuff, SpaceX stuff, whatever. Real spacey stuff. This seems so intriguing, and it's so close to some kind of real stuff. Like there's like a Mars rover that's got more wheels, but similar to this. The Red Planet Transport. Well, now that I'm looking for toys specifically to play with, I want this. Let's look at the car first. What is it called? Not seeing any name, unfortunately. I'll have to look that up, but that looks kind of fun. I know what DK stands for. Must have something to do with the model name. It's definitely not Donkey Kong. Anyway. It's a Red Planet hauler, they called it. Yep. Or Red Planet Transport. Well, does that dislodge? Okay. Unusual ball and socket system, so that does come apart. Let's take a look at the cab. Not too bad. Pretty cool. And the transporter. Just looks like a spacey RV camper. Which apparently, yes, opens up. Does this fit though? It doesn't. Oh, yeah, look at that. Perfect. Very tight fit. But just fit. Yes. Play-wise, that's a fun little set. Glad I opened it. Now we get on to the regular carded cars. Unfortunately, there's only 2 Matchbox. So we're going to get those out of the way. We're going to start off with a Subaru Sambar. A favorite of mine. I don't know why. I love these tiny little foreign COEs. I don't care who makes them. Matchbox, Tomica, whatever. Or the brand, Subaru. What? I don't care. I like these tiny little COE trucks. I wouldn't mind owning one, to be honest with you. Very cool. Happen to have this extra one with a cool red tempo on the side, so that'll be seen on the track. Very intrigued to see how that'll do. It's very small, very front heavy. This guy probably not doing very good on the track at all. If you're a fan of mine, you might know I love this Poop King. And yes, I have this one in my collection. I wouldn't mind having one to carry around as a pocket car. I love this. I've got the little hand washing insignia, little Poop King insignia. Beautiful neon green and black that I've already said I love. And there are little removable porta potties. Very cool. That is always going to be a favorite of mine. I don't know why. Is it the 80s poop toy joke thing? Who knows? But that's cool. Back to the Future Time Machine. Of course we want a DeLorean time machine to play with. Got an extra one here. Yeah, we're going to open one up to play with. Heck yeah. We'll see how fast it truly can go. Wheels. Right, on to the rest are Hot Wheels. Not all are going to be goofy like this, but we will see. What do we have? Bubble-matic from the Xperia Motors. Yeah. Other than, like, a toddler's birthday party, I don't think many of us are seeing out something like this, but honestly, it looked like it would go fast down the track. Yeah, if some younger people were around and want to play with some goofy stuff, I have it. Plus, it does have this extra feature. And hey, let's say I have some track set up outside someday, it's not going to be that bad of an idea to see how well this does. Might be a fun adventure. More reasons to play. Fandango. Love my fans. It's a fantasy van, but any van all together anyway, but very early 90s screaming colors. Figured I needed a minivan on the track, so looks like that'll be the representative. Classic TV series Batmobile in the small tuned version and the reddish tuned version. Again, I don't like tuned vehicles, the little cartoony ones, but there are a couple in here because I don't like them for collecting, but for play-wise and track-wise, I think they're going to be pretty nice. So here we have this red and orange tuned classic Batmobile. Looks like a lot of fun. Sorry about the jostle. Next we have Volkswagen Käfer Racer. This one even seems to have a tempo in the blister, so might as well be the opener. Yeah, some tempo error. Oh well. It's probably going to get banged up on the track now anyway. I see this guy doing very well on loopies. It's too much flat space. Different cars will perform differently in different situations. Well, obviously, not just in real life, and toy-wise on the Hot Wheel tracks. Bone Shaker. Everybody knows a Bone Shaker. In fact, my neighbor has a real-life Bone Shaker recreation sitting in his front yard. Complete with a skull front. He really does. Anyway, here's a nice little red one with some gold and black details. Don't usually collect the Bone Shaker, but looks like a sick track car to me, and there's a good reason to have one open. So this is our Bone Shaker Representative. Let's see, a bit of an older card. 2001 edition's Surf Crate. Yeah, that looked cool. Looks almost like something I would collect, but it's not. And here's our excuse to open it anyway. Because now we want it to play with. Yeah, purple. What size does this come out? That seems locked in there somehow. Oh, nope, it does come out. Yeah, I was going to say a lot of these come out. Yeah. That'll be a sick guy for the track. Oh, another Batmobile. Batman Forever Batmobile. That one's kind of sharp looking. New for 2023. So it looks fast and sharp. That guy looks like he might have some track loop problems as well. But some straightaway fun could possibly be done. Fangula, that looks really cool. I think that was on the board whether I was going to collect this or not, so this is a good reason to open it. Anyway, faintly has like a Chinese dragon in the pinstriping. Beautiful tri-green colors. Can't air on it now. Quite the air intake. Front pinstriping almost looks like a bat. This is a very beautiful model. Very cool. Fangula. Very, very cool. Moto Wing. This looks like, I don't know. I've seen something like this in real life. This looks obviously like a military fantasy version, but there's some sport where it's almost like a combination motorcycle go-kart thing and a secondary person will hang off the side. I don't recall what it is. I only recall seeing it once on TV like 20 years ago. But yeah, this looked pretty cool. Didn't make much sense collector-wise, but looks really cool for play-wise. Which is the theme of most of these. Time Shifter. This is a model I collect. I already have one of these in my collection. I want an extra one to play with. Hot Wheels Tire Shop. Very awesome. Similar front end design to the Time Taxi. Another new one. The Honda Civic Custom, which I bought twice. This is in my collection. I wanted a Honda Civic for the track, and I thought this new green one is going to be beautiful. The only reason why I bought a second one is because before opening it, I noticed it has some tempo flakes on the hood. So, it's a good play donator. Very awesome colors. That looks beautiful next to my Poop King. Speaking of awesome colors, La Fasta, which I'm barely a fan of, but seemed like a great track to get. And again, it's those sick 70s colors is what got me. Loving the orange and yellow and black on this like Mountain Dew color. That looks just absolutely gorgeous. So very cool. Another one I usually would hate, but I thought looked great on the track is the Twin Mill. It's a classic for most people. Had a few colorizations to choose from. Chose to go with this classic colorization. Again, just got some nice 70s vibes to it. A lot of the other ones I had available were kind of drab colors, like flat red or flat black. This colors make it a bit more appealing to me. Street Wiener, which honestly I struggled with because I had 3 versions of this. I decided not to collect. So I do have 3 variations to choose from if I wanted to open one, or 3 to keep if I wanted to start collecting. But no, I just want one of these to play with. And this looks really cool. Looks fast. Again, looks like it might have problems on some loops. As you saw, it's got that nice opening grill spoiler feature. Pretty cool. Next, another wagon, Cruiser Bruiser. Knew I was going to have one of these on here. An extra packaging garbage going on there, but good thing it's the Play Edition. Hot Wheels Barbie Dream Camper. Yes, I have one of these in my collection because I collect campers. I had an extra one. Everybody's on Barbie fever lately. And for a larger sized mainline with a moving part, that is pretty nice. So we're going to see a Barbie camper on the tracks. 86 Toyota van. New for last year. Well, almost 2 years ago. This was October 23, excuse me. And I think there's about 3 or 4 of these colors out now. Red one's gorgeous. So, yeah. We got another van representative for our tracks. Very, very cool. This just screams 80s to me. I love this. Alright. Big Air Bel Air. Again, I'm a huge Chevy fan, but not usually a Bel Air fan. So I wanted one to represent, and this is awesome. Loving all the black and red. Chunky tires are not. Still feels like it'd go fast. Yeah, they're not quite Matchbox wheels. Doesn't seem like it'll do decent. Ooh, tuned Volkswagen Golf MK1. So I had a couple tuned vehicles. Forgot I had more than one Golf. I thought the little green guy was the only one. Here's a little tuned one. Some other cool retro colors. I don't know why, the colored glass always reminds me of retro stuff as well. This is very cute. I'm very curious how these tight, short vehicles will do. Especially on a powered loop. These will probably fly right off. Anyway. Pickup truck. 83 Chevy Silverado. Beautiful 70s avocado colors. Very cool. Got a number of this one in my personal collection already. Chose this one to play with. '74 Torino, my favorite Torino, and this is a beautiful color. This was the first Torino I ever owned, because I couldn't find one in the wild, so I went on eBay and was like, I have to find one. I need one of these. So this is the second one I'm opening. I already opened the other one for my private collection. I bought a 2-pack of the same model for about $12, to be honest. Well, this guy's going to get some track time. This is probably going to be a pocket car for me. I might take it somewhere here or there. Ooh, another wagon. Another recent awesome release. The Volvo 240 Drift Wagon. It's like the Nissan Drift. And the only thing I really didn't like about this one, especially being the first one, it's got some nice red tempo, but you could barely see it because it's light red over dark red. I think they should have done something else. Maybe an orange, yellow, black. I don't know, but you could barely see it. Otherwise, beautiful, beautiful model. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. Eruption. Again, another one I never would have collected. But if I just want stuff to play with, this looked fun, and it looked like it would go fast. And it has a cool feature, apparently. Yeah, it's got wings that pop out. That'll get in the way in some track situations, but otherwise, that's cool. Very cool. Ah, here's that other shark car I was talking about. Shark Bite. Very similar to the other one, just with open jaw. Here's this one. 2015 card. Oh, is that on a... Oh, yep. It's on a pegged wheel. Yeah, so the jaw goes up and down on its own. I hadn't known that. Okay. There's been a number of cars with that feature. Did not know this was that one. Just thought you had a flippy jaw. But alright. Pretty cool. Three models left. What year is this? 96 card. School bus. Just called school bus. So again, this guy's pretty long for the track, but needed a bus to represent. I'm a bus liker. Yeah. Very intrigued to see how that does. Nice teal green and flames. That was pretty cool. One last tuned vehicle for today. We've got an 83 Chevy Silverado. Very beautiful, like Balaam or baby blue. Okay, can't wait to see how these do on the tracks. Very awesome. And last but not least, thank you for sticking around for 45 minutes, for Christ's sake. 77. I don't know why I thought 77. No, 70 Chevelle SS wagon. 21 card. Blue. Not my favorite color of this model, but this is what I had available. So this is what we got. Got a number of wagons to play with. Not too crazy if you knew me. But yes, very beautiful. Thank you for being here and staying this long if you have. Please like and subscribe to help me out tremendously. And please have a very, very good night.